Good afternoon, Springfield. It's Zach McLaughlin checking back in. It's Friday afternoon, and I am trying to adjust to life at trying to work at home, and this is what you get. It's not a very quiet environment in the house right now with a couple of kids and everything we're trying to do. So we're outside today for a little bit, which I know I desperately needed to do. So I hope you're all getting a chance to get outside a bit too. I'm checking in because yesterday was the big announcement from the governor last night that the school year would officially be canceled. Well, there would be closure for in-person learning for the rest of the year. And I know I've been telling you that we've been kind of planning that this might be the situation, but it's still hard. It's hard to swallow, and I know a lot of people have had some really tough reactions to finding out that this is the situation, and we're right there with you. It's tough. It's putting all of us into some really tough, uncharted territory. We're working really hard to try to figure out what each day when we have the new thing that comes down at us, trying to figure out what to do and how to handle it. But just like you, we miss you. We miss the students in our district. We miss the families who are part of the Springfield School District family. We're bummed out that this is something that we're not gonna be able to do in the normal way this year, and we're all trying to digest that. Even though, like I said before, we've kind of been planning for the last couple of weeks that we thought this might be the direction that we were headed. As we think about what we're going to do next, there's things, just like I said the other day, there's things that we have answers to and things that we don't, and we're going to have to figure out as we go. Some are things that we just need to decide as a district, and some of those decisions will come quicker. And others are things we're going to have to wait for some decisions to come down to us from the state level in terms of what we need to do and what we're going to be expected to do from people at the state. I can tell you that we got, as we think about the work now, we met this morning with a lot of people who are part of leadership around the district, and when we met this morning, we discussed the fact that we really have two main priorities for the next 75 days or so to get us through this particular school year. And the first priority, the number one priority for us is to keep the children of Springfield both physically and emotionally safe. And when we design whatever we design, we're going to try to build around that as much as possible. And then the second priority is that we'll be providing learning opportunities for the children of our community while keeping our staff physically and emotionally safe. So those are our two prongs. So those are the things that we're going to try to accomplish over the next 75 days. And people are doing, like I've been telling you, people are doing tons and tons of work to try to make this happen. The food service continues to be delivered. We have a whole bunch of people volunteering to make sure that stuff gets out to you. That's going well. We're feeling good about where we are at the moment with providing care for healthcare providers and other essential workers. So we're okay there. And people on the learning side are doing this gargantuan redesign of education on the fly while they're trying to manage their own family and their own lives and their own stress over everything that's changed so quickly. So we're committed to making sure that this is, it's going to be clunky as we go because we're kind of making it up as we go along. We're in the same situation where so many people around the world, not just in Springfield and not just in Vermont, but people around the world trying to improvise around this kind of unanticipated situation with a virus we're still trying to understand and control. So there'll be things that are going to be clunky about our process as we go, but we're determined to do it as well as we can, and to have some fun along the way. If you haven't had a chance to, look at some of the videos that our staff has been putting out to kids. Um, uh, they're warm-hearted. They're an attempt to regain connection with those students that we don't have an opportunity to see. That is, I think, going to be one of our main goals, is to have regular, ongoing contact with our students, because we think that's super important, to have students feel that sense of connection to us, but also to their peers. And we're trying to work really hard to find ways to make that happen. And most of that's going to be virtual, but we're trying to get creative around some ways to make it fun and to have kids have some socialization in addition to get some education. There's a bunch of things I continue to not know the answers to, and I get new questions on a regular basis. I would say the group of students that my heart really goes out to right now is seniors, our high school seniors. The end of senior year is this culminating. You've gone through 13 years of education, and you're getting close to the end, and you have those last few months to wrap things up the way you want to. And I feel awful for our seniors and the fact that some of those opportunities are not going to be available. I had my first email last night about graduation, and someone asking me about graduation. Reality is I don't know yet. We are determined that we're going to that students will graduate from high school, that we will put you in a position where if you're moving towards a path towards college, that we're going to put you in the best possible position to continue on that path. We're going to do what we can to make sure that happens. And I think that's going to happen around the state. So I think that if you're a senior who's stressing about that, I think we're going to find a solution, because I think all around the state and all around the country, everyone's in that same boat. And I think we're going to collectively as a nation find a way to make sure that you're in a position to go on to school next year. As for graduation ceremonies and those types of things, we'll see. We want to make sure we celebrate your accomplishment of being a high school graduate, and we give your family an opportunity to have that moment as well. I just don't know how it's going to go and what that will look like and how we'll go about it. So stay tuned. But I hear the concern, and we're going to try our best to give you some form of a way to celebrate everything that you've accomplished. Outside of that, the other thing I just wanted to let you know is we're trying to be very. I think I mentioned this the other night. We're supposed to be very thoughtful about how much stress everybody's under right now. We know it's hard. Parents, we know that it is tough right now on the home front. There's a lot of things that you're trying to balance, a lot of stresses, and a lot of new things you're trying to do for your kids at home. And we're working hard to try to make that as easy as we can. Things like IT, having IT tech support for you in regards to equipment that you have from us, or platforms you might be using, and Google and other things. So we're working on that type of stuff. We're also working really hard to if we haven't heard from you, we're going to be trying to hear from you and on a regular basis, and make sure that we understand if there's anything that you might need that we might be able to help out with. So those are the big things, guys. There's not a lot new specific to tell you right now, because a lot of things are still to be determined. But I just want to acknowledge that this had come, that we're disappointed, that we were building in this direction already, and we will keep chugging along. I want you to know, if anything, I'm worried at this point about just how hard everybody in the school district is working. People are working crazy hours, doing a lot of things, and I also want to make sure, as we're trying to do a lot for folks in the community, that the people that work for you here in the school district are also smart about their own health and their own stress levels as well. So, all right. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. I will be sure to continue to update you as we go about new things that are happening or new approaches that we might have to some of the challenges that we're seeing day to day. But here we are, and I just wish the best for you and your family. And stay tuned, and we'll fill you in more stuff as we have an opportunity to talk to you. Thanks. Have a nice weekend.